Welcome, everybody. I am Jason Wright.
And I am your neighborhood sis, Ash T.
Distinguished gentleman, Jamie Wright.
This your man that's going to always keep it real, Jarrell Wright.
Hey, this is Talisha. You can count on me to keep it real and keep it raw.
And we are the Our Blank Slate podcast crew. Welcome back. I am Jason Wright, along with my co-host, Talisha Wilson and Mr. Jarrell Wright. As always, man, want to start off real quick, cool rail. You want to tell us about the playoffs? You know, I know it didn't go the way I wanted it to. Hurt me like a mug, but you know what I'm saying, New York brought it on in. So man, kind of give us your perception of how the playoffs went, or the finals went, I should say.
Well, I mean, I must admit to this season, as far as the playoffs, when I say East and West, was a pretty spectacular season. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed pretty much each and every round of basketball that was played. So the commissioner, Adam Silver, has to be very pleased with the way this season ended and the way this season was conducted. But as far as the final game, I'm a little sad because, I really didn't have no dog in this hunt because my team wasn't playing. But I did want this thing to go 7. Like right now, there should be a game. We should have had a game last night. And then there should be another game looking forward to tomorrow. But it's over. And so they are having the parade on Thursday. Again, me living in the DMV area, there's a lot of my coworkers and a lot of my subordinates that are actually leaving tomorrow to head to New York to be part of the parade. So I'm going to be living vicariously through them because I know it's going to be a crazy and amazing and wild time. I can just imagine what the parade's going to be like based on what I saw when they were winning those games. So, and it's been 53 years since New York has had the opportunity to have
right.
celebration. So, but I digress. With the game, San Antonio should have won that game, as well as the game before. I was kind of taken aback about how they got out-coached, and then at the end they got outplayed. So it's amazing. Like I watched Jalen Brunson say, the game starts at 8:30, but we don't show up till 9. So once they showed up at 9 o'clock, then it was on and popping. But to see how San Antonio released those leads at the end, I mean, leading them the entire game, and then self-destruct the last 6 or 7 minutes of a game is appalling to me. And then for the coach, although I like the young coach, all you have to do is literally manage the clock. That's all you have to do. When you up that big,
you have 30 points.
Manage the clock. That's it. And take it down low. And give it to Wemby, go down low. Let Dylan Harper, who's a stud in this league already as a rookie, do his thing. Go to the hole. And I would have said, if anybody shoot another 3, just go straight to the locker room. Just go straight to the locker room. Right. Don't even come to the bench. Because you're coming out, going straight to the locker room. We up 29 points. Manage the clock. Right. Go punch it down low. Hold it for as long as you can. Either you're going to get fouled, go to the free throw line, or you're going to score. One of the two. They jacking 3s like they was behind. And did it both times. I'm like, for the love of goodness, how can we not see this coming? And I'm not a coach by any means, but I do play one on TV. But so I'm like, all you have to do is just manage the clock. That's it. And I'm happy for New York, don't get me wrong, but I just wanted 7 games. That's all I wanted. I wasn't ready for the season to be over. And it was over too fast. And then they let them close it out on their home court. They ought to be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah, that's sad. And the mom is in one game, Darren Fox, all he had to do, you gave him a 29-point lead, but all you had to do was dribble the ball out. It was 9 seconds.
That's it.
Dribble. You didn't have to go take that layup. Just dribble the clock out. They was gonna foul you. Shoot some free throws.
And I'm not a conspiracy theorist by any means, but I think we might want to investigate him a little bit because I don't know about that. Dude, all you do is hold the ball. Hold the ball. You running down there, and then when he went up soft as cake. I'm like,
Exactly.
you
Exactly.
should at least got fouled. I mean, you like basically faded back for him not to foul you and let him just block the shot. So if that was the case, just hold the ball.
I mean,
And
he went up. He went up softer. He went up softer like he was, softer than ice cream in 90-degree weather. I mean, just
Yes.
softer than weather.
And then his cavalier attitude afterwards. That another thing that just didn't rock well with me. So cavalier about it. Well, I thought I was trying to put us up by 3. It didn't work. Oh well. I'm like, what is going on here? And you are a all-star. I mean, Darren Fox can ball. He can ball. So for him to do that, I don't know if he's part of that gambling ring. Let me quit. But something ain't right. Something ain't right. Something ain't right there. And then played an atrocious in the last game.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to get a ball to Dylan at the end. I'm like, what is going on here? I almost called down there to the arena and called a timeout my damn self. Everybody gather around. Everybody gather around. Putting me on speaker. Let me call. I was just couldn't believe it.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And I had a parlay on that. I did. I just knew that they was not going to allow them to come to their home court. And so now I can see why everybody is so passionate about the game as if they're playing the game. Because a lot of people got, bets going on and stuff like that. So when I see a Darren Fox do the things that he did, he cost people, some money. He really did.
Right.
Yeah, you're getting your $55 million a year, but you cost me some money.
Right.
And and then your cavalier attitude, I want you to look in the camera and say, Jarrell, I'm sorry. I did it. But he didn't. Just very nonchalant. Well, it didn't work. Tried. But to New York's credit, them jokers they went and balled. They did. I'm proud of them. And that OG, what's his name? OG, that dude can play, yo. He can play.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I was very impressed with just everybody who contributed to that team. Even Robinson contributed well. I'm like, and I thought he was trash last year, but he contributed very well this year. So, and then Cat, I know Minnesota's like, we've never seen that Cat ever.
They never seen that version of Cat ever.
I know Ant-Man's like, where was that guy? When where was he? Where was he? Because Cat's always been a good guy, always been a good player, but he played spectacular basketball. I mean, he did. And then
the whole finals.
And then Brunson, just a beast. He's just a stud. Big body Brunson ball. I mean, the Joker just balled his. I mean, he is the legend of New York now. He's the king of New York. He had never.
He only what 6'3"?
He's 6'1", 6'1", 6'2". Yeah. He had never paid for another dinner in New York ever again. Never. Tickets to the Broadway. You get front row tickets to any Broadway show you want to go to. Hell, he can probably run for governor and win. Right now.
Believe me, they love Brunson, Jalen Brunson.
I love him. I'm like, and Dallas had him and let him go. And I know if I'm the owner of that team, I'm like, I need to reevaluate my coaching staff. And
Dallas. They got rid of their GM, which they should have when he gave up your boy Luka for Anthony Davis. Anyway, that was the dumbest thing in the world. Anyway, so
ever, and he's not even there.
Investigation. There should be an investigation into Dallas.
There'll be an investigation in that as well. Absolutely, yeah. So
this one right here, I guess topic number 1, and then we'll just go to the scenario segment for the night. But Miss Talisha, in our conversation, we got to talking over my birthday weekend, and actually it was after my birthday weekend. We just got to talking about some dating, some in general. And I was like, man, I would like some a single perspective on the show. And as we got to talking, she got to giving me a little bit of what's going on in her life, and so I titled this topic, "Why You Gotta Lie." All right, what I'm saying? And when I put it on the paper for my co-host, I put in Talisha's words, as a single woman in the current dating era, why is it so hard to find someone who is going to be transparent and not just honest? And ladies and gentlemen, I was yesterday old to find out the difference between transparent and honest. All right. And so, Talisha, I will let you give what that definition or what the definition is or what's the difference between transparent and honesty, and then kind of talk about what you was talking about. And Jarrell, I would love to hear your perception from this.
So for me, how I always tell people, the difference between being transparent and being honest is tell me what I don't know to ask if you know that it matters. I would always respect you for a hurtful truth over a lie that pacifies me short term. Because an example is in dating, very common and very upfront. Are you married? The guy might say no, but he doesn't say, but I'm dating someone seriously, that I live with someone, that I've procreated with this person, gave her a ring, we've been together for 20 years. So technically I'm not married, but I am in a serious relationship. I mean, you won't say that I'm not married, but yes, I've been dating this person for 15 years. You will say, no, I'm not married, but you won't say that she's calling herself your wife or that you refer to her as your wife or that she's got a key to the crib. That's serious enough for you to tell me that there is somebody else.
Well, I mean,
Be transparent.
yeah, but I'm just not getting to know you. That's too much information to give you right there.
No, if you know that you're trying to get to know me because you want to be with me, or at minimum you want to smash, tell me what situation I'm walking into. If I say, are you married? You should know, you should understand my intent behind that is, what is your current dating situation? So as women, let me not speak for everybody. I have to be very, very clear and precise in my question, because what I have learned is you Negroes will walk around the truth and only answer at minimum, which is why I say be transparent with me. What should I be asking that I don't know to ask? And if I'm asking you, what's your situation? Are you married? Don't just say, no, I'm not married. Say, yes, I've got a girlfriend who will kill you.
But let me ask you this though. So like to Jarrell's point, I mean, I just met you, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, no, you asked the question, am I married? No, I'm not. All right. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I really want, to your point earlier, if I'm just trying to smash, you know what I'm saying? First, I need to get to know you. I need to know if this is something I want to do. All right, so
if you're trying to smash, I need to know if you have a wife, a girlfriend, and a mistress. That know there is a difference. If you walking up doing that thing you do where you do that right there, you licking your lips, your eyes get low, and you drop your voice 2 octaves, you know exactly what your intention is. Don't just be like, hey, what's up? You want to go when you know damn well your whole point is because you trying to figure out if you can get in there and get what you want. Be transparent. Say that. Some women are cool with it. Right. We like to smash and pass too. We like no strings attached to. It depends on your situation. Say what it is that you are looking for and what you want. If you don't know, say, I don't know. I just want to get to know you and kick it. But for me, I still want to know what's your roster looking like. Because so you may not think it's serious. And then I have somebody jumping in my inbox, playing on my phone or talking crazy. I need to know what I'm walking into.
So do you ask the guy that though? Like, so do you say, hey, do you have someone that thinks that, so they your woman, they your wife, they your whatever? You know what I'm saying? Do you ask those kind of questions going on?
I have learned to lead with, do you have a wife, a girlfriend, a mistress, or someone who thinks they're any of the three? I've covered all the bases.
I'm interrogated right now. I'm feeling interrogated.
And that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Right there. It's just.
I might say it with a smirk and a smile, a little low eye, but I want to know.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to that, but first of all, let's get in a setting where we can both articulate, but I'm just
you're not asking just right off like
you got a wife or girl, and that's just it's too much.
Well, no, it's not right off. It's not when you walk up and hey, what's your name? And I say I'm Talisha. That's not the first thing I'm asking. But if it gets to the point where you're like, well, you want to go out, tell me what I'm walking into. Then I am asking.
So
we'll talk about that over a nice meal.
That's what I was about to say. So is that the conversation over dinner, over the date? You know what I'm saying? Or is this conversation they have to have before the date?
It depends. Sometimes I'll ask before They ask me out. Sometimes it's a conversation. It just kind of depends on how much I know about you. If I know you cool and I haven't seen you out with anybody, yeah, I might say yes to going out before I ask that. And then we could drill it down and clarify once I really figure out what your angle is and what I think you're looking for. Because I myself have to do a lot of guesswork and then ask a lot of clarifying questions. Because again, y'all will talk around the truth. If it's not a specific question, y'all won't answer it.
So speaking for single men, I can't speak for myself, but I'm speaking out here for the single men out here since they're not on the podcast. A lot of them like, hey, you know what? If I just tell you all this up front, it's easy to say, no, I'm not interested, and then keep it moving. But if we sit down, you get to know me, I get to know you, and then they be like, you know what? Hey, she seems to be pretty cool because they're not married. So their options are still available. So who knows? You might be the one that they soulmate. But if you go straight in there, are you single? Are you dating anything? Now all this mess here, it's feel like an interrogation, and it kills the mood, it kills the vibe, and it's just not something that you just want to share your whole life story with a perfect stranger. You just don't want to do that.
Right.
That's all.
I can understand that.
And then on the other aspect of that too, Talisha, is I need to get to know you first too. You know,
Exactly.
before I tell you all my business. Because again, if I'm talking to you, you know what I'm saying, as Real said, you know, if I'm talking to you, I want to know if I could be talking to somebody else. I could have, you know what I'm saying, 2 or 3 of them. But you could be that queen pen. You know, but I won't, but if I tell you, oh yeah, well, you know, I got 2, 3 that, you know what I'm saying, I'm sitting here talking to, you may not even want to take it to that different level. And you could be everything I want to do and more.
That's a majority thing.
If I don't mess that up right off the gate of saying, well, you know, I'm talking to 2 or 3, blah, 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 and you like, oh, here, player. You know what I'm saying? So
you talking to multiple people
isn't
isn't an automatic disqualification, because I firmly believe when you're dating that you can date multiple people. But if someone thinks that they're in a committed monogamous relationship with you, you shouldn't be asking me out to dinner with the intent of, oh, I want to see if this can work with you, because you're in a committed monogamous relationship.
I get it.
To me, there's a
But
difference.
he's in an unhappy, committed monogamous relationship.
Then leave. Don't get me wrapped up in your mess. Leave.
Maybe he want to talk to you to see if he should leave.
Maybe you should find something else to play with.
I'm just saying.
Me too.
So when you told me that, I said, just like you talked about, you know, how we poll some people. So I'm at the bar. I'm polling a little bit of everybody, my homies. You know what I'm saying? People that I meet, and I'm talking. And the first thing that they said was, why would I tell her everything up front?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm saying you go back. You know, I don't think I would have said everything up front. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is all of them are like, why would I tell everything up front? For one, because I was like, she's like, why you gotta lie? You know what I'm saying? All you gotta do is tell her your story. Some women will still kick it with you. You know what I'm saying? But their whole thing was why get to there if she may not even be my type. She may not be one I really want. You know what I'm saying? So before I get to find out if she won't, I'm not about to tell her my whole life story.
Right. Now I get it. If it's somebody, we're talking about single brother. Now, if you're married, then yeah, you need to. Yeah, we're talking about
disclose that. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're married, you need to disclose that right at the beginning. So we're not saying that about married men, but single guys. If I'm a single guy, I'm not going to tell you my whole life story up front. I'm not going to do that. And then I want to get to know you better, and then see if you're worth sharing all of my intimate details.
Right, exactly.
As well as I want to get to know your intimate details. You might not tell me all your, because everybody got a situationship. Everybody got something, you know. But
I'm not asking for your full life history and your blood type. Before you, in most cases, ask me out, I am likely going to ask you, what is your current situation? If you're dating, say you're dating. If you're casually dating, say that. That's okay if you're a single man. If you are not married but in a committed relationship, no, I don't want to go kick it and hang out, because I don't want to be the reason for somebody else's heartbreak. Been there, done that. Not doing that. No, absolutely not. But if you, I just feel that if you are dating multiple people, you should be comfortable saying that because you have nothing to hide. You're not committed to anybody. I don't
Mhm.
see anything wrong with disclosing that. I'm not asking for names. I'm not asking for how long you've seen each one. I'm not asking how far y'all go with it. I just want to know, is there a gaggle of us? Do you have a whole stable? Is there a couple that you're casually dating? I just need to know that before, because you never know what that woman's view is. And she may just be like, oh no, this is my man. And now it's a challenge.
So
I'm
what have
not
you?
trying to have that smoke.
So at this age, you know what I'm saying? What have you encountered that makes you like really like, man, I'm tired of these men lying. Like, so for you to have really wanted this to be a subject, like you must have went through some or encountered some bad experiences. So what have you been through that made you like, you know what, Jason, this is something we got to talk about. I want to make sure every man out there know you don't be doing this ish to these women out here. So I mean, like, what have you went through that actually made you like really like this
I
has to be the
mean,
topic we talk about?
I have had instances where it's a total stranger. I'm out somewhere. They might send a drink over. They come over and say hi. They come over. We have, some light conversation. They say, "Hey, would you like to grab a drink?" At one point, we exchange numbers. I go home, and before I wake up in the morning, I have a text from a strange number where it's his woman that he's living with or the girlfriend that he never disclosed texting my phone saying, "Who is this?" Uh, this It's me. What's up? Who is this? Well, I found your number in his phone. Well, he asked for my number and I knew nothing about you. Don't worry about it. He's blocked for not being transparent. There are times where this one guy in Phoenix, saw him a handful of times, met him randomly out one night. We kicked it, had a good time there, went on, I think, 3 or 4 dates, only to find out on date. This is so random. This is how the universe will snitch on y'all and y'all don't even know it. We're not friends on any social media. We've only gone out 3 or 4 times. It's been a few weeks. Very light, very casual, just having fun. And I open up Facebook, and because his number is in my phone, I open up on my phone. So now he's on my suggested people list. I pull up his page, and he is at a party with his whole girlfriend, where it's like their formal social media coming out announcement. And I'm like, oh, literally just left his crib last night. Oh, okay. She has no clue about me. I had no clue about her, but you're literally
Oh,
at this whole event. And women, we take it different. Once she puts you on Insta, that's it. You are her man. And it's smoke behind you after that.
you say it's
So
official on Insta, huh?
I screenshotted and sent it to him and said, it was nice knowing you. Then my phone's blowing up. It's not what you think. Well, it's definitely not what she thinks either, because did she know that I was there? You're done. You're done. One and done. He blows my phone up to this day. But I mean, there's a lot of situations like that. Not that extreme, but definitely situations like that. Yeah,
So
I don't
so
like
so so I guess when I think about that, maybe again, maybe like I said at the beginning, maybe he was on his way out of that situation
no,
and he
this is
was
an
coming in, he was trying to get into a new situation with
situation.
you.
No, no, no. This was an announcement of their ongoing situation. Looking at going through their pages, because detective work, social media makes it real easy. They had been dating for probably close to a year.
And this is
And
like coming
this
out.
this was the official first time that she posted him, but
Mm.
he had been posting her. I don't really stalk social media like that, or I didn't at the time. Now, yeah, I'm asking questions and I'm doing a quick little Google and looking, because had I looked at that from the beginning, I would have known. And this is a person that asked, "So are you, casually dating?" And at the time, he was like, "Yeah, every now and then I see, one or two people." No, you in a whole relationship. There's literally pictures of her sitting at the crib chilling, drinking my wine. Yeah, like it's unreal that the lengths that you would go to lie about. Yeah, it's a no for me. If I can't trust you to be transparent, and trust me, I have been that person. This isn't me judging. I ain't always, had good sense. I've definitely done some things that I wish I could go back and change, but at this point, I'm too grown to lie about it. It is what it is. You ask me, I'm going to tell you. Don't ask me something you're not ready to hear the worst truth for, because You just might get it because I'm not scared of you. You can't send me to heaven or hell. You don't. Well, wait, one or two of them do pay bills, but for the most part, you're not paying my bills. So I don't have any reason to lie or be scared of you. You're gonna get the truthful answer. Just be prepared to hear it because I don't really sugarcoat stuff either.
I mean,
So I can take that in return.
and I mean, but every woman can't. You know what I'm saying? So let's make sure we are 100% accurate on that. Every woman can't take the 100% truth. All right?
That's true. That's
So,
true.
so let's keep it that. And then every man, for some reason, can't be honest. You know, and as we're talking about, so men out there, we gotta do better. All right, single men out there, hey, you gotta do better because I got people like my sister on here. You know what I'm saying, going crazy because somebody lied to her and led her down the wrong road. But so hold on. So I'm sorry, but how long did y'all talk? Was this like a month, 2 months, 3 months?
This is probably a couple of months. We would hang out like once a week, but there were some red flags because usually we would kick it on a Thursday because there's one particular club that we love meeting at and hanging out. And I had plans with my girlfriends that Thursday. I hadn't heard from him, so I didn't think I was going to see him. And I get a phone call, it's Thursday. You didn't think that we were kicking it? You didn't make a reservation, so no, I didn't. I'm not just penciling that day out for you. And it's Thursdays because
I was pissed too, so I'm sorry. You go on.
Thursdays was his free day because that was the day that she had a like reoccurring engagement. So Thursday night was his free night, is what I found out later. So yeah,
You making time for you. So you really cared about. You making time for you. Yeah. Making time.
Yeah, that's all he was just making time.
And with that though, women need to be transparent too. It's not just the men.
Right.
You have women out there sit there in a whole situationship. What I mean by that is they get this guy whining and dining them, taking them out, and then she'll sit there and tell him, she don't want to move too fast and this and that, but yet taking all his money, he's taking her out on dates, taking her to the movies, doing everything but smashing. So he's doing all this stuff to court her. And then when he drops her off, she calling her her go-to guy who ain't spending not one dime, and he get to come home and clean up everything. Women do that stuff too.
Is she taking it or is he offering? If
What
he's just saying, I want to do these nice things for you, I'd like to go to a dinner. I'd like to take you out. Yeah. Yes, I'm going. If we're cool and I like you, there's a rapport and a chemistry. Yeah, I'm going. But I am also, if you've asked me, are you dating? Yes. Multiple.
My thing is, okay, so
sounds bad, but
why
yes,
aren't you being transparent with him though? Why aren't you being transparent?
I am being transparent.
No,
if I am dating you and we're
dating.
going out, I might not tell you who it is or how often, but if you ask me, are you casually dating? Yes, I am. I sure am. And like you said, until we hit that level of intensity, you don't need to know the details. But if you ask, I'm going to say, yes, I'm casually dating. Are you busy? No, I have plans Friday. I have a date. I have plans. I'm going out with a friend.
Now, if every woman and every man was just like that,
perfect.
See no problem. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing's perfect.
But you have women sitting there having this guy thinking they in a relationship or it's getting deep when basically all she's there is for the free meals and the gifts. And then the guy.
See, I'm a check-in person. I am not necessarily a title, but a what is this, what are we doing type person, because I need clarification. That way I know what I feel is my place to ask and what's not my business. If we're just kicking it and having a good time and there's no commitment, I'm not asking you what you're doing in your free time.
Exactly.
We're going to have an understanding that if we are sexual, that we are safe and we're protected and that nobody's going to be calling my phone playing on it. And that's as far as it needs to go because there's no real commitment there. But if we're saying we're working towards this and we're saying now we're going to be monogamous, oh, you better believe I'm all up in the mix. I want to know when, where, what about expected, what time. We have a routine. And when you stray from that, it's a problem because I want to know what changed.
So let me ask you this here. So I'm glad we're having this discussion because there's some men out here that need to listen, that need to hear this. So you got a guy who's likes you, obviously, and he's going to show you he likes you because y'all done went out 3 times. Y'all done went out 3 times. Clearly, you must find interest in him too, I would think, besides just a free meal. because you didn't went out. He asked you to go out, and then you accepted 3 times. So at this point, he's invested his time, his resources, and his creativity because he didn't plan some nice dates for you. And these dates, they're not cheap. You know, he didn't spend. He could probably within 3 days, he probably got $600-700 invested in this thing at this point. Easy. So he should be able to expect some transparency from you at that point. And then also, when do you find it acceptable? Because I tell men after that second date, if she's not offering to even pay the freaking tip, cut your losses and keep it pushing. You know, because women will sit there and let you take them out till the cows come home, but won't offer to give you anything. Won't even take you for a cup of coffee. You know, so at some point she has to show interest. She has to show interest too, and by saying, "Hey, okay, we're gonna go out tomorrow, and it's gonna be on me." You know, it's something. You know, but you got a lot of women. As long as he keep asking me, I'll keep going. But then we're having the audacity to say, "We just friends."
Okay, so fellas, little trick here. If by date number 3 or 4, she hasn't offered to feed you, cook for you, take you out even on a simple date, or do something nice that you would like to do, go to a game, go to your favorite bar, go shoot pool. If she hasn't offered to do that, you ain't the one. Exactly. She don't really like you like that.
Yeah, hey, quit wasting your money. Quit wasting your money. Put your money back up.
Put your money back in your pocket and keep it pushing.
Yes.
I'm not going to say that on behalf of the women, but she's probably not as into you as you are into her if she hasn't offered by date. Maybe 4. Yeah.
Maybe 2.
No.
I'm not going out no 4 dates before I find it.
No, I'm so old school. You need to pursue me. I'm not, not right off the bat. No, so absolutely
not. I'm glad you said that. So in a situation in today's era, who's the prize here? Is it the woman or is it the man?
I'm still the prize.
Or is it both?
I think when you're dealing with a certain level of man, that he is definitely a prize, but those are very few and far between because y'all make it hard to still be a good woman because y'all lie so damn much.
See, that's my thing. See, that's another topic right there because I don't agree with that.
All the bullshit going on now.
Man, I don't agree with that not one bit. That's another topic.
Of course you don't, because you a man. Y'all are married, so you can't speak to this anyway.
We are
single men on here for me to argue with. Yeah, single men this day and age make it really hard for the old school good women to thrive and still want to be good women. Because I promise, just by optics, hoes be winning these days. Run through their pockets and get what you can from them because these Negroes ain't shit. I promise. It makes it hard to still be.
Women don't listen to that. Don't listen to that out there. There are some great men out there.
No.
But let me ask you a question.
The good men are few and far between. Trust me.
So let me ask you a question here. Let me ask both of y'all. What made the men not shit? Something turned that man, a good man gone bad. Something turned that good man into a bad man.
I think that is a complex question. I don't think it's any one thing that has happened. Family dynamics have changed a lot over the last 2 generations. Things aren't the same. Think about it. How many relationships in your peer group are anything like your grandparents' relationship?
I mean, none of them.
How many of those relationships are like in your parents' relationship? For the ones who had good examples, because when it comes to our parents and just in that whole age group, a lot changed from grandparents to parents' generation, and it damn sure isn't the same in our generation at all. I do believe that some men set themselves up and then complain that, oh, she's a gold digger, she just wants me for my money, when that's how you approached her with the, I have this and I have that and I do this on a regular and this is normal for me. If that's what you present to her, you can't be mad when that's what she expects from you either. A lot of guys fail to realize that's what you lead with, so that's what she's running with. Now you want to call her a gold digger when that's all you put on the table in front of her.
Hey, please,
I
ladies
I
and
like that
gentlemen,
part. You're right.
please
You're
go
right.
in the comments. Please go in the comments on this one right here, because I do agree with that one right there.
I agree. You know, a lot of
And
men
go in
do.
there like he got it all, and he
Want to
you know,
flex
we can
and you
do
want to
this.
be the
Yeah.
man,
Hey,
and
that's
then
what
you
you
mad
get.
when she expects you to be the man.
Yeah, that's what you get.
But then there's men out there that don't lead like that. But now this was the part that will get me. I had a partner. He was like, because they know we're doing a podcast now, so now they're coming and they're telling me things. He was like, dude, I'm sitting here chilling. We out, me and my partners, we out kicking the weird, whatever. I'm talking to this young lady, and the young lady was, we're talking. I'm waiting to buy a drink, or I'm waiting at the bar. And he said they was having a good little conversation. They was talking for like, a minute. She like, are you gonna get me a drink?
What?
Like for me to keep talking to you, or I'm talking to you, you owe me a drink. Like his conversation, like in order for you to keep getting my conversation, or you owe me a drink because I gave you conversation. I mean, the entitlement of that. And then when he said no, oh, you cheat. If you cheat, just say you cheat. How is he cheat? He's not asking you to buy him a drink. He's going to buy his own drink. You're asking him to buy you a drink, but because he says no, he's cheap. Make
Okay,
that make
so
sense to me.
he was dealing with a professional bar brat, and they only go out to get free drinks. They came in
Yes.
there broke. They got there before they started charging, and they looking for any and everybody that's going to buy them some free liquor.
What you call him?
But
A bar brat?
Bar brats.
Like
Yeah.
Bar brats. Yeah, they go to the club just to get free drinks. They gonna put on their smallest outfit, and they gonna be in everybody's face, and it's whoever is spending is who they're going to give their conversation, and they ain't going home with none of them.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was dealing with a pro. That was his problem. He got a bad picker.
Well, he wasn't doing because he didn't buy it. But what I was saying is because, like I said, they know I'm doing a podcast, so they coming with me with all this stuff now, telling me how things are out there. And a lot of these women out there, they saying they have the entitlement that you're supposed to pay for everything all the time. Their money is no good, no good. And I don't understand where that came from. And I'm glad I'm not out there in that mess because I would not put up with that whatsoever. That's crazy.
Well,
There's
see,
a
I
lot
like
of
to
work,
flex a
just
little
like you
bit,
do.
let them
Don't
know
want to
I'm a
spend
big
nothing.
dog too. So if you send a drink, I'm sending a drink back.
Oh, that's what's up.
I don't
Hey,
owe you anything.
That's what.
Or I
That's
might
what
send a plate of wings over to your table. Just depends on what you looking like.
Okay, hey,
like
I
that.
respect that. I was like,
Yeah,
that's
I
what's
respect
up.
that. All right, see,
Yeah.
look, we're gonna have to get on some conversations about that as well. So I'm gonna add that to, so incorporate that to the next couple of shows as well, man. But hey, we got to keep moving on this, man. You got anything else you want to say before we book in this topic, Talisha?
No, because I feel like we're going to talk more about this over and over until I find my Mr. Right. Let me not say Mr. Right. People gonna think I'm being funny, but y'all know what I mean.
For sure. You got anything, Real?
I mean, with that, I mean, I totally understand what, like I said, I just found out today. So I appreciate you educating me between transparency and honesty. So I
There's
thought
a difference.
they were the exact same thing. So
But
I
think
did
about
not
how
know.
many ways you can apply that to lots of situation across your life, though.
Right. So I learned something new today. So fellas and ladies, be more transparent and be more honest. And then I think situations as well as relationships will start out on a better foundation, and that way it can end on or begin on a positive foundation. So that's what I would say on that. Just
Pretty good.
be honest and be transparent, and keep it pushing. And then you can't miss nothing you never had. So if she don't want what you got, there's somebody out there that will. And you
Save
can't
you
miss
a headache and
Save
not
the
waste some time.
exactly.
Or money.
Or money.
Or money. Or money.
And
Or
like
money.
I said, man, I appreciate you, educating us on the difference between honesty and transparency. And like I said, I was yesterday old a year old when I found that out. And of course, I had to do some looking on up and honesty tells the truth about the facts. I think what I also said something about transparency tells the truth about intentions. And I think that's what you've been saying. So I said today's dating world,
it makes a difference.
in today's dating world, many people aren't frustrated because they've been lied to. They're frustrated because someone withheld the full picture. Real connections can only exist where true trust exists. And trust grows when people are willing to be seen as they truly are. A blank slate relationship starts when masks come off and authenticity takes their place. So that is one thing that, as we look at that topic right there, at the whole time that I was writing it up and thinking about our conversation, transparency and honesty are two different things. And I honestly didn't know that in the beginning. So my apologies, ladies. I did not know that. I will help educate our single brothers out there moving forward.
That's what we're here for, to help educate.
That's right.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that. All
Appreciate
right,
that.
so man, we're gonna get to the last final topic in the scenario segment. And man, Cool Rail sent this out to us, and as I read it, man, I got so heated. So I was like, oh hell yeah, let's bring that up. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna explain the scenario segment. It says, a lady says, I don't know if I'm being petty here, but I feel like I'm not. So my ex-husband remarried and has a kid with his wife. She owns a business, and I found out that she makes almost $1 million a year. My ex works and gives me $900 a month in child support for our daughter, but I don't think it's fair. I told him that it would be nice if he sent me more money for my daughter. He told me that his wife and his accounts are not together. But honestly, I want to take him and his wife to court to get to the max amount I can for my daughter. I work from home and my husband is in the Army, but we are struggling. It would be nice to have the additional income that my daughter deserves. What do you guys think? And I was going to start with Talisha, but Cool Rail, I'm going to start with you. What do you think on this one right here? Because, man.
First of all, the audacity. The nerve.
My goodness.
I'm like, my goodness. I don't even know how. For you to sit there and say you want to go to court and ask for the maximum for your daughter. First of all, the man is giving you $900 a month. So that means he's no slouch. He's making some decent money to be paying you $900 a month. Because normally if you wasn't making the money, some women only get $150 a month. And this is just for one child. And some may get $300 for 5 kids. But you're getting $900 a month for your child. And you're mad because he married a woman who makes $1 million a year.
Who got her own hustle, her own ambition.
Her own hustle, her own money, ain't got nothing to do with you. You had the same opportunity. You could be making $2 million a year. It ain't her fault or his fault that you don't have a business that can bring in $2 million a year. She got $1 million business, and you're all in this woman's pockets, and it has nothing to do with you. And your ex-husband, who seems to be a good father, is paying you $900 a month for one child. And I'm sure with that child, I'm sure he's still paying for extracurricular activities. I'm sure she's 9 times out of 10 on his insurance. I'm sure 9 times out of 10, he's still buying her clothes and buying her whatever she needs on top of that $900 that he's giving you. So basically what you want is him to give you more money so it can increase you and your husband's standard of living. Because you're trying to compare your situation to their situation, and it's not fair. Because I'm sure his daughter is not going to be wanting for anything. Just like he got kids with that spouse, his current spouse, he going to make sure his daughter's straight too. He going to give the money direct. He going to pay for the stuff directly for his daughter and not give you the money for you to decipher what you want to do with it. That's what the problem is. That's what your problem is. Because I'm sure he's still providing for us. He's not just saying, well, I gave your mother $900, go to her. I'm sure he's still providing for his daughter in many ways, probably paying for braces, glasses, everything else. But he's giving you $900 where you have access to and control to do what you want to do with that $900. You want more money so that you can do more things for you and your husband. First of all, you need to be talking to your husband to get his money up. And you need to be talking to get your money up. So your husband's in the Army. I appreciate his service. And I'm sure as long as he stays there and performs well, his money will come up because he'll start getting promoted and stuff of that nature. But what are you doing to get your money up? You too busy looking at his wife and she making $1 million. Take your ass to school, or get you a hustle where
Preach.
you can make $1 million.
Preach.
I wish you would try to take them people to court, because the judge might mess around and lower the monthly payments you're getting now. You greedy mother. I mean, let me, oh, that burned me up when I read that.
You seen that with that was Chris Brown, wasn't it? The chick went to court to try to get more money, and the judge lowered it. He was like,
Lord,
this
I
money,
mean,
hey,
he
you know
giving
what, the judge lowered it.
$900.
He said,
Yes.
you ain't even getting that. You ain't getting what you used to get. You're getting less than what you had. She got half of what she was getting the first time.
Absolutely. You all up in with his, because he didn't married him a come up. You mad because you did. So it is what it is.
Right. No, hold on. Before I go, Talisha, what you got to say on this?
I feel like I'm about to get in trouble again. The last time I spoke on this publicly, I was beefing with my kid's dad for 2 years after this.
Oh shit. Okay, so I'm
because he
gonna hear
took
what
it
you
and
got to say
shots
now.
fired. But I can only be honest about my experience. So I feel like we need to know more backstory before we could judge this, because if he is an absent father and he thinks that the money is doing it, that could be why she's leaning in, well, you need to pay more. On the other end, it could be that she just doesn't manage her money very well. So maybe she is just being greedy and she wants it for the household, as opposed to that child actually needs more than $900 a month. I feel like we need to know more about the backstory before we could judge either way, because my kids are going on 29 and I have one that's 30. Up until they were 18, I got $84 a month. I'm sorry, $84 every 2 weeks for 2 kids. I was a teen mom.
So
I never took him back
$168 a month. $168 a month.
I never took him back to court for more support because I knew I wasn't getting shit anyway because of his work habits. He wasn't every other weekend a court ordered. When we did our divorce decree, it was set and I never took him to court. This Negro took me to court because he didn't want to pay $84 every 2 weeks. He wanted full custody by the time they were teenagers because he didn't want to pay support. No, let me take that back. He wanted 1 week in my house, 1 week in his house for 2 children that were well-adjusted, academically inclined, involved in church and doing good. He wanted to disrupt their timeline and how they lived because he didn't want to pay the $84 anymore. The judge listened to what he had to say with his little stack of papers in the courtroom. And I didn't get called to the stand. The judge looked over at me and he said, "How do you feel about this?" And I said, "I think it's bullshit. My kids are well adjusted. They have schedules. They don't get in trouble. Why would we disrupt that because he doesn't want to pay the $84 that he barely pays?" The judge looked at me and he said, "You're right. This doesn't make any sense. Why would you uproot them and their whole routine to live with 1 week with one parent and 1 week the other," and dismissed it right then. When I tell you this man was so pissed because it didn't go his way, and literally like the weekend before I got the court papers, he picked the kids up and took them shopping. These are teenage girls. Of course they're going to love going shopping.
Right.
Now you want to ask them if they want to come stay with you? They're teenagers. You're spending money. They're girls. And my daughters they're teenagers with a little materialistic at the time. All I could do was shake my head and go, this is so stupid. And when it did go his way, we happened to get on the elevator at the same time. The way that this man cursed under his breath and acted a fool, and we didn't speak for literally months after that. What sense does it make? But this was the case of you don't even visit them when you have the ability to visit them. But now you want to take on 50-50 when you can't stick to every other weekend. What sense does that make? So for me, it wasn't even about the money. I just didn't want the headache. They will grow up and they will see for themselves. And it was really hard not to be one of those moms who talked shit back then when it was all happening. But I feel like it could be either way. She has every right legally to take him to court at any point. If the wife is making more money, whether they have shared accounts or not, legally, she could take him to court and they consider that a group bunch. Now,
certain courts don't always go for that. Just because.
Okay, the state of Indiana, if you're married, whether you have separate accounts or not, when you file them taxes, if it's married filing separate or married filing jointly, they consider both incomes. Because I got cussed out when somebody's tax check got took and I knew it wasn't his because he don't work like that. I got cussed out for it and I want my money back. Sir, this is your kid's money and it's spent. Sorry. I
Yeah,
took him
I
shopping.
just don't, especially when accounts are different, because a lot of it has to just go from that parent standpoint. Because
It's not
again,
bank accounts. It's your
maybe
income and your tax
Indiana
filing.
is different, which anyway, maybe Indiana is different, but a lot of times it has never been like that. I looked it up a lot because I've moved in a lot of different states, transform these organizations. And so that was something that for some reason everybody had to deal with, and so I looked it up. But a lot of times, especially it don't even matter if the accounts are different. He goes off of that parent's salary, and it has nothing to do with the other parent, because the other
Well,
parent
don't move back to Indiana because you hit. It's a joint effort in Indiana.
that parent had nothing to do with that, with making that child.
And that's true. That's
And
true.
that's why when I look at this story, it is like Jarrell said, the audacity. It makes me throw up, my skin crawl, that you like he said, why can't you look to see how you can improve your financial status instead of looking at their pockets? All right, you know what I'm saying? And you don't know, however long they've been together. So they could have grinded together to build her business up to that. And then again, you don't deserve none of that. You know what I'm saying? As Jarrell said, we're going to assume he's a good man. All right. So Talisha, so
why are we assuming that he's a good man?
Well, the reason why I know he's a good man, because had he been a deadbeat man, she would have said he was a deadbeat.
Exactly.
So that's how I know he's a good man, because that would have been the first thing. He's a deadbeat dad who pays. That would have been the first thing she'd have said.
You don't never see the kid, blah, blah, blah. That'd be the first thing that would have said.
If she didn't say that, that let me know he's a good father.
Yeah. So
I don't know. Maybe she just don't want to talk bad about him because she's being respectful.
Already talking bad. He ain't giving enough money.
Yeah.
So no. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm not about to get double teamed here, just for the record. I'm just saying.
All
in a
I'm
lot
saying
of
is
these cases, women choose the bear over the man for a reason.
Hey, all I'm saying is this. If she wanted to stay with him, she should have stayed with him and built a life with him. She chose, or they chose, to get out of that relationship and move in with marry two different people. All right? You made your choice. Man, there's a thing at work. It says,
How you know it
you
wasn't
are free. Hold on. There's a thing that's on our wall at work, and it says, you are free to make your choices, but you are not free from the consequences of those choices. All right.
Totally agree.
So she made that damn choice, or they made that choice. She was part of that choice, and she chose to marry someone else. All right. Now you are stuck with the consequences of that choice. All right. So no, you need to direct. No, you need to do what you need. Whether you need to go to school, whether you need to look on. I mean, hell, AI is killing it right now. You know what I'm saying? Learning some different skill sets, but you need to stay out of their pockets, because they working hard over there for their family. All right, and your daughter is his daughter, and I am sure, because like George said, she would have said he is a deadbeat father, he's absent in her life, and all of that. She would have said that. All right, but she didn't. And so,
I feel like you're giving this man a lot of credit.
Which assuming is makes an A out of us all. But my own thing is if I would assume that he was a good guy, he's taking care of, probably buying the glasses, taking care of the braces, you know what I'm saying? Buying the gym
Y'all
shoes,
are making a
or
lot of
whatever is needed.
assumptions. You giving this man a lot of credit for stuff that we don't know to be true.
All I'm saying is this: even if it, even with the $900 a month, all right, say it's just the $900 a month, but I'm sure he's helping on other ends, or she would have stated that. All right, but this man is doing something, and he's doing something consistently. All right. He married someone that like you said, we don't know all the details, but they accumulate a business that makes over $1 million a year. All right. They did that, or she did that.
He did that.
Not this lady right here. She has nothing to do or no claim to that woman's $1 million a year business. Not one penny. All right. Now, if that lady, I'll say that lady, if her ex, wife feels, I should say them as a family, they want to do more. If they want to do more, they could do more. But you shouldn't feel entitled to this man's money or this man's family's money. Because
This man's wife's money.
exactly, this man's wife's
money.
money.
It ain't his money, it's his wife's money.
Like, how you have the audacity to even ask that and even say, I don't even care. I don't even see how she even asked this question to people. Like, again, it makes zero sense to me how you have the capacity to feel entitled that this man's woman, this man's wife, not her ex, but her ex's wife owes her money. That is ridiculous to me.
Make that make sense. Make that make sense.
So, like, you guys aren't totally wrong, but I don't agree with everything you're saying. I feel like you guys are giving this man credit, which is not the norm. Most men who are court ordered to pay child support do not want to do shit else but pay what is being taken, what they feel is being taken from them and that they're forced to pay. They're not buying shoes. We don't know if he's paying medical insurance or co-pays or out-of-pocket expenses for this child. We don't know if this child is going on family vacations and road tripping with what he's doing with his other family. We don't know that. That could be the reason that this mom is bothered and is thinking about getting more money. Now, in this story, the way that it's worded, she says that her and her current husband are struggling and could use the help. That makes me lean towards she wants the money for her because she doesn't say because this child needs A, B, C, or D. So that I can kind of side with you guys on, but I feel like I can't really make an educated assumption about this because we don't know the backstory. And as a mother, I think the backstory matters. Having had to do all of this on my own with my village, and some of that village included his family too, but financially he wasn't there. And for a very long time, physically, he wasn't there. He didn't show up on his weekends. He wasn't there for all of the things. Luckily for me, my kids have an amazing stepfather. To this day, if I tell them, call your daddy, that little one is not calling him. She's calling her stepfather. She's not calling her daddy. They have a better relationship now. So I think that this really just depends on what that child may be lacking, whether it's his presence. Maybe that's why she wants more money because he's not present. Maybe he's spending his time working on this business with the new wife and the family, and he's just not around.
What it is, I read it as greed. I
read it as greed because this where it got me at right here. It said, when I read this is why I had to send this to you. She said, I work from home and my husband is in the Army, but we are struggling. It would be nice to have that additional income that my daughter deserves. So first of all, if your daughter deserves that, you work from home. So that means you can probably go get a second job.
Exactly.
So if it's for your daughter deserves it. Most moms do whatever it takes to make sure that their kid is straight.
Hey, preach.
Whatever it takes. So if you're working from home, that means you are chilling. You get to wake up.
No, working from home doesn't mean chilling.
Get out of here.
But what I'm saying,
that doesn't mean you're chilling.
She ain't got to, she ain't doing all that stuff. She get to cook. She get to wash clothes. When you work from home, you can still do all your house chores during the day. Now, when you working at the job, you go to the job for 8 hours, then take an hour to get home, then your house chores start. But by the time you get off work, all your house chores are done. So
I just want to clarify, working from home doesn't mean you don't work. You're still working.
No, nobody said that.
No one said that. But I know they cooking dinner during the work day. I know they washing clothes during the work day. I know they cleaning the house during the work day.
Dinner,
doing everything. So by the time they done with work at 5 o'clock, they done for their day.
Exactly.
But for those people that actually go in the office, when they get home at 6 o'clock, then that's when the night shift starts. Because now they got to cook, clean, and do all the other things before they go to bed. So she working from home, she could be doing other things to bring in additional income.
And she can get a couple work from home jobs.
That just depends on what she's doing. If she's doing call center from home, you can't do any of that because you're still tied to the same phone metrics. So it just depends on what she's doing working from home, whether she can afford to work dual jobs. But maybe that just means if he's in the service, you need to go work a second job.
Yeah, and my thing though is again, if y'all made the arrangement, it's my daughter's mom, we made an arrangement and we kept that arrangement the whole time. All right. I mean, and and she was amazing with it, and so and she could have no, since I'm the child's father, I mean, she could have taken me to court for more. She knew, my positions and what I was doing. She knew how much money I was making. But we agreed upon a number and we kept that number.
But I'm sure you being a present father made a big difference in her not running back to court too.
Agreed. To be honest, I don't want to tell her story, but she, man, she was amazing. She was an amazing mother and an amazing partner. I'm saying from a standpoint, I shouldn't say is, and I'm saying she's an amazing mother, and I didn't have to run. I didn't have those issues that this story is presenting. But in the beginning, when I was a college student, I wasn't shit. I mean, what I'm saying? I mean, I didn't have no money. You know what I'm saying? Mine, you have yours was what? You said 84 every 2 weeks. Mine was like $75 every 2 weeks. I didn't have a job. You know what I'm saying? So as a broke college student, I was terrible. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing was like, just wait till I graduate. Damn it.
Yeah, but at least you were in school, and I'm sure you were still present. You wasn't trying to start a music career or some shit.
Right.
You were going to school, and I'm sure that you were still as present as you could be, being a full-time student. So that's what makes me wonder, is there more to this story? Because most women, if that father is present and is paying something, aren't running back to court. I know everyone likes to paint this picture of a bitter baby mama, but in a lot of those cases, if that man would just be present and would be there and helping out physically so that we're not paying for daycare, that you can keep your own kids so that she can have some free time and clear her mind. A present father is not normally going to get the smoke as one who is just ripping and running the streets and just forgot about their kid and went and started a whole new family. That's when most women are like, oh, you about to pay one way or another. You're gonna be present or you're gonna pay.
I mean, he paying $900 a month, so that lets me know he got a decent job too. $900 a month ain't no slouch, for one child.
Not at all.
One child, that ain't no slouch. It ain't like he's paying $50 a month. He's paying $900 a month, and so that lets me know he got a decent job, and that lets me know he's not a slouch. And again, if he was a deadbeat, that'd have been the first thing she'd have put in my deadbeat ex. He doesn't. He feels that just by paying $900 is all he got to do, and this and that. It takes more than she'd have. Trust me, she'd have ran him down to correct him around the coals. Because she's mad. What it is, she's looking on Instagram, Facebook, seeing their house, seeing them on vacation with their kids, and those are the vacations that she would like to be on with her family, but she can't. They probably going to Disney World, taking the fast track, getting the fast passes, riding all the rides on the Disney cruises. And she would like to be able to do the same thing.
That's why she investigated how much money she made.
Exactly. That's why she
always. The thing is her kid going on those trips? I'm
sure she is. First of all, he said he's a good dude. And he said he cares about his daughter. So I'm sure that when they go on vacations, he probably take the daughter with him. I'm assuming he would take him with him. Or anything that she needs, he gives it directly to the daughter and not to her. That's where the issue lies. She wants him to give her more money, so she claims that she can get stuff for her daughter. Well, he probably buying the stuff directly and giving it to her himself, which that's what I would do. I'm not going to give you an additional. What you want? An additional $1,000?
Right.
So you can.
I feel like I can't be quick to judge without knowing more details about this, because I've been on
live in a 5-bedroom house too. Well, get a job so you can pay that mortgage. They live in a beautiful home, and they probably live in on base housing, which is nothing wrong with that. So her husband's in the Army. They got free medical, so so their life is not bad, because with him being in the Army, they come with great benefits. But he's not making $1 million like his wife is. So it's not like they're hurting as far as like they are paycheck from being homeless, because I'm sure he probably live in base housing if nothing else, and got free medical and free dental. So they have those type of things. She just see her ex and his wife driving the nice cars, living in the beautiful home, and taking the fancy vacations. And she's bitter because he makes decent money because he's paying $900 a month, and she makes $1 million a year. So I'm sure the house is nice, the cars are nice, the clothes are nice, the kids probably go to private school, and they vacationing. And she wants to be able to do those same things, and probably was doing those things with him when they were together. Now they're no longer together, but yet he's still doing it, probably now on even a grander scale, because he has a wife now that's making $1 million. And she's bitter. That's all it is. And so
I still want to refrain from calling her bitter or making a judgment without knowing more details.
I will say this: we are making assumptions. So
well, I'm gonna say we make an assumption, but again, I don't think we are, because this woman is too busy in this man's wife's pockets.
Yes, I do agree with that.
That right there is what got me. You are in his wife's pockets. Right. What the hell are you doing in his wife's pocket? Go make your pockets bigger. Exactly. You ain't did nothing to help that woman.
You're not wrong, Real. You're not wrong. Yeah. I'm not arguing that point of it. I just don't want to call her the bitter baby mama, because maybe he is living that elevated life, but is his daughter benefiting at the same level?
Again, that's where we're making some assumptions.
I'm willing to say yes, she is.
I would think so as well.
He's a good guy.
You're right with the fellas. You don't know if he was a good guy, they would still be together.
But my thing though is, again, if he wasn't a good guy, she would have said it. You know what I'm saying? That's
exactly. He would have said he wasn't a good guy.
Not everyone is so quick to put their baby's father on blast like that, though. Some of us care what that child thinks. So maybe she's not calling him a deadbeat and dogging him out because she cares how her daughter or how the child sees the father.
She just put a post out asking people that, you know what I'm saying, should she take her baby's father back to court for more money? So no, I don't believe. You know what? We got to book in this real.
A better board of advisors. That's what it is. What we talked about last week. Yes. Don't use the internet for your board of advisors.
Yeah, true story.
So family, please post your comments. The guy is a good guy, you know. So fellas, y'all can chime in on this.
You don't know that. Why? You leaning into him. You giving him more credit than what he might deserve.
Like we said, we're making assumptions, but I think the assumptions that me and my brother are making are true. So I'll end it with this saying, you know, this conversation really isn't about money, man. I think it's about perspective. You know, there's a difference between advocating for your child and feeling entitled to someone else's success. You know, I feel like we all have moments when life feels unfair, but comparison has a way of making us focus on what others have instead of what we're actually building for ourselves. You know, in our fashion, you know, every blank slate is an opportunity to ask, am I acting from a need or am I actually acting from resentment? And I would believe that in this situation, she's acting from resentment. But I'll leave that to everyone in the comments. So, you know what I'm saying? If you would, make sure you are putting your comments in. And as Rail said last show, those that, you know, do the most comments, you will get a spot on the show. All right. So I would right now like to thank my two co-hosts today. You know what I'm saying? For another great job.
Great job.
You know what I'm saying? So cool, Rail, you want to tell the people goodbye? See you later, the whole nine, whatever you want to do.
Again, guys, you could have been anywhere in the world while you was watching this podcast, but you spent some time to watch our podcast, and we greatly appreciate it. And we hope that you continue to like and subscribe. And again, we hope that we keep giving you good content to make you smile, make you laugh, as well as to make you think. Until next time, been real.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, T.
Ladies, I would love for you to jump on here and comment and tell me, am I being delusional? Real had some real strong opinions tonight, and I want y'all to tell him that we're choosing the bear over the man. He's given this man a lot of grace and, you know, leaning towards a positive light when we don't know if he's a deadbeat. Maybe she's a good woman and just didn't call him a deadbeat. Am I crazy? Jump on here and comment and tell me if I'm crazy or if he's just giving this man way more credit than he fucking deserves. Let's figure that out. But please comment, jump in. If it's me, tell me it's me. I can handle it. But he has some real strong opinions tonight, and I'm curious what everybody else thinks. Am I just being too lenient and thinking that maybe she's not just money hungry? Maybe she's thinking about the baby and he's not present. And because I'm not giving that man the credit, because I know we don't go looking for more if he's doing what he's supposed to do. Am I making stuff up in my head? Am I crazy? Tell me if I'm delusional or not. Forget Rail and him giving this man to tell me if I'm delusional or not. I'll give that credit.
Please put that in the comments. Let Talisha know she's delusional right now. You know what I'm saying? But
Please let her know. Because y'all
Hey,
know if he was a deadbeat, that'd have been the first thing that y'all would have said. He's a
Not
deadbeat father.
necessarily.
Hey,
I
so-
don't think all women lead with that, even when that's the case, because we really do want to see the better in the fathers of our kids. We want good co-parenting. We really do.
I hear
Don't let the hood chicks and the TV stuff fool you. We really do want good co-parenting.
Well, for everyone, please, you know, so put your comments in the comment section. Please like, subscribe, and also share. All right, you know, there's a couple of topics that we talked on tonight, you know, that I'm sure someone in your life would definitely benefit from. All right, so we will leave with Jason's bright corner, and the quote we will be leaving you guys with today is, it's a quote from Daphne Rose Kingma, and it says, "Holding on is believing that there is only a past. Letting go is knowing that there is a future." So tonight we talked about arguments, honesty, relationships, and expectations. At the heart of all these conversations is one simple truth. We spend a lot of time holding on to being right, to disappointments, to what someone should have done, or what we think we deserve. But growth begins when we loosen up our grip. The beauty of life is that no matter what happened yesterday, tomorrow rises with fresh possibilities. Every sunrise offers us a chance to think differently, love differently, communicate differently, and definitely show up differently. And that's what our blank slate is all about. Not pretending the past didn't happen, but refusing to let it write the next chapter of our story. So as you leave us tonight, remember, you can't start the next page if you're still rereading the last one. Tomorrow's coming, and with it, a brand new blank slate. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week.